Hi, welcome. I'm Eva from EVA'Z Yoga and Pilates in Heemstede, and you can join this Pilates session. If you have a ball, then use a ball. If you don't have a ball, you can do it with an imaginary ball, or sometimes just a fold-up blanket or towel will help, will do. We're going to do some nice exercises for your back to bring some more flexibility and also a little bit more strength. And listen to your boundaries and join this session on the mat because it's going to be very, very nice. Jump on your mat and let's get started right now. Feet hip distance apart, firmly into the ground. Squeeze whatever you're holding between your thighs. If you're not holding anything between your thighs, just squeeze an imaginary ball. Lift your shoulders up towards the ears and roll them down along your spine. Two more times, up and down. And the final one, up and down. Now move your shoulders up and forward. So reverse the movement. Up and down. And the final one, they go up and down. And now you have to reverse the circle because otherwise you're just falling forward, and you want to keep your shoulders nice and wide and lower your shoulders on your back. Then lift your arms sideways and up. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, lower the arms sideways and down. Two more times. Inhale, lift. Aiming for length. Exhale, pushing your arms down. And the final one, interlace the fingers above the head. Turn the palms open towards the ceiling. Look at your fingers where they cross and keep your gaze at your fingers. Don't fold your neck in the back of your neck. So keep your neck nice and long, push your hips kind of forward and reach for the ceiling with the palms of your hands while pushing your feet down into the mat. Really firm your legs, squeezing your hips forward, squeezing your buttocks together, lengthening, breathing, still breathing. Take another deeper inhale and exhale, slowly release your arms sideways and down. Both arms, they go up again, hands flat together, lower the hands in front of the chest, in front of your breastbone, and then push your elbows out and then turn to the right. Look over the right shoulder. Inhale back to center. Exhale, try to feel where your resistance is for today. And inhale back to center because you need to respect your boundaries. And then turn. And inhale. So it makes you more aware of your own body and your own limitations, but also of your own freedom to move. And then inhale, bring it back together, and then lift your arms again, sideways and up, lengthen the left arm, push your right arm in front of your belly to the left, lengthening everything on the left side. A little bit more weight on the left foot, left hip kind of forward, left shoulder backward, and then move sideways and up, lifting the right side, pushing your left arm in front of your belly to the right, and lengthening everything on the right side, pushing your right arm backwards, pushing your right hip forward, and then change. Oh, it's raining so hard outside and you're nice and warm, probably inside. Lengthening the ribs, lengthening your waist, and then change in the opposite way. So lengthen the right side, lifting the right side of the rib cage. It is the final one. And then you bring both of your arms up again, and then behind your back, interlace the fingers and squeeze the palms together. Place your hands here on the sacrum, just above your hips, and then push your hips forward, lifting the rib cage, squeezing the elbows and the shoulders together, lifting the sternum up for the ceiling, the breastbone goes up, and then exhale, release, bring the hands in front of you, squeeze whatever you're holding between your thighs, keep your feet parallel, interlace the fingers and turn the palms open towards the wall in front of you, and then try to tuck your belly in and push your hips forward. So you're rounding your spine, you're lengthening the back of your back, the lower part of your back. And then you lift yourself up again. Both hands are interlaced. You cannot see my hands, but they're still interlaced. You push your hands up, but you lower your shoulders. You push your hips forward, and then you sideways stretch again. Look to the left because it helps you to push your left shoulder backwards and push your left hip kind of forward. It's just a little bit, but these micro movements, they will help you to engage a little bit more of your abdominal muscles. Inhale, lift, lengthen, and then look to the right and do the same thing here on the right side. So there's a little bit more weight on the right foot. You're pushing your right shoulder kind of backwards, and you push your right hip kind of forward. You have the intention to bring it forward. And by doing this, you can feel like your obliques are working. And then inhale, lengthen. 2 more times. So there we go, lengthening everything on the left side. Bringing a little bit more weight on the left foot. Lengthening the neck as well. Don't bite your jaws together. Keep your jaws relaxed. Inhale, lift. And move sideways like your hands are over the ceiling. Moving to the left. And you look to the right. If you're standing a little bit more on the right foot, you will feel a little bit more activity going on the right side. And then final one, inhale, lengthen. Exhale, move one more time to the side, all the way to the right side with your hands. So your left arm is above your head. There's more weight on the left foot. And then you lift again. And then you bring everything to the right side. And now there's a little bit more weight on the right foot, lengthening the right side of the rib cage, relaxing your jaws, relaxing your eyes as well. You can close your eyes if you want to, so you can feel better within. And then inhale, lengthen up. And then exhale, slowly lower your arms. Can you feel the stiffness and how hard it was working for your shoulders? Now bring your hands, your fingers on your shoulders and move your elbows up and sideways and down. So you draw some circles with your shoulders, with your elbows, lifting the elbows up towards the ears and then slowly bring them backwards and down without too much articulation in the spine. So keep your back nice and long. Up and down. One more time. Forwards and up. And now release. Bring the hands forwards. And then sideways and down. And then you cactus your arms. So like really feel that you can squeeze your elbows behind your back closer and closer. So it's inhale up. Exhale sideways down. Pulling the elbows behind your back even closer and closer. And this is the final one. And then again, you interlace the fingers behind your back and you turn sideways. You have to use the length of your mat more. So I'm turning and I'm using the back of my mat. I have my hands, my fingers interlaced, bend my knees, bring my chest closer to my thighs, drop the head, and then try to lift the arms a little bit higher. Shake your head for yes and no. Also lengthening the neck. Just feel how gravity is pulling you towards your thighs. Bending the knees, it helps you to lengthen more your back. Take a deeper inhale and then exhale, slowly walk your hands all the way forward. So you walk your hands all the way forwards and then you bring your shoulders above your wrists, pulling your belly in, squeezing the ball or your pillow or your blanket, and then slowly lower your knees to the floor. Knees on the floor, bring your knees a little closer to your hands, hands straight underneath your shoulders, and then swing your hips from side to side. Just a little movement for 4, 3, and 2. Then you bring the ball next to you, and then you lengthen your left leg. You lift your left leg, and you just hold your left leg in the air. Don't lift it too high because then you're going to collapse in your back. So try to lengthen and push your crown of the head forwards. Now pull your left knee towards your nose, towards your face, and inhale, lengthen again. And keep it nice and long. So not too high. Aim for length instead of height. And then pull and squeeze. Inhale, lengthen. And exhale, pull and squeeze everything together. And inhale, lengthen. And the final one, squeeze everything together. Now grab your left leg with your right hand and pull your left knee a little closer to your face. Then look at your left hand and then step your left foot forward in between the hands. You can use your hand as well to bring your left foot a little bit more forward. Now tuck the toes under of the right foot, the back foot, and stretch the right leg. Lift your hips up and down. We go for 4. 4 up and down. 3 more. And 2 more. And this is the final one. Go up, 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 up. And then slowly lower down the right knee to the floor. Bring your right knee on the floor. Bring your right hand flat on the floor. And bring your left hand on the outside of your left calf muscle to your shin towards the knee, the outside of the knee. And then turn your shoulders so you can look over your left shoulder. You can push a little bit more with your fingertips on the floor if you want to. Or you can use a yoga block under the right hand so you have a little bit more space to turn. Exhale. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, turn. And inhale back to center. Then place both of your hands on the inside of the left foot. Walk your left foot a little bit more to the left, because then you can broaden your shoulders. You can push with your shoulder against your knee, and you can also push a little bit with your knee against your shoulder. You're going to bend your right elbow, and that makes it possible to look underneath your left leg. So you're going to drop your head. It feels a little bit ridiculous, this pose. It's like you're doing kickaboo. And then you try to bring your left elbow behind your left calf muscle, and then push your left calf muscle forwards. So you feel a little bit more length here on the back of the left leg. And you might feel your right grin a little bit more. You're here in the hip socket. And then inhale, lift, and then swing your left leg all the way back. Same thing on the other side. So hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, lengthen your right leg, lengthen it, make it nice and long, lift it by squeezing your abdominal muscles. You can lift your right leg not too high, and you push your head forward so your shoulders, they stay above the wrists when you lengthen, and exhale, you round your spine. Start slowly, and then feel how long you can make yourself when you inhale. Exhale, squeeze everything together, rounding your spine. Inhale, lengthening your spine. Also your neck and the crown of your head goes much more forwards. And exhale, round the spine. Inhale, lengthen. Try to pull your belly in and up when you're rounding your spine so much as you can, as much as you can, as much as you can. And inhale, lengthen. One more time, round and really squeeze everything together. Push your right hand firmly down, push your left knee firmly down, and then grab with your left hand your right knee and put it even a little closer to your face. Feel how you can contract all these muscles and how you're lengthening the back muscles. Now look at your right hand and try to step your right foot forwards, in between the hands. If it's not there yet, just move your foot a little bit more forward with the right hand. Help yourself. Tuck under the toes of the left foot, lengthen your left leg, and lift your hips as high up as possible, sucking your belly in, and exhale, slowly lower it down. 4 more times, up and down. 3 more times, up and down. 2 more times, up and down. And the final one, lift your hips as high up as possible, hold, and then exhale, slowly, slowly bring your left knee to the floor. Left knee is on the floor, left hand is on the floor. You can place your hand flat on the floor, or you can stand on your fist. Keep your wrist nice and straight. And then bring your right hand towards the ankle, along the calf muscle to the outside of the right knee. And then you can push with your right hand on the right knee so you can lengthen your upper body. And then you have a little bit more space to turn. Look over the right shoulder, exhale. Inhale, bring yourself a little bit more back. Now exhale, try to turn a little bit deeper. And then inhale, come back. Keep your left knee where it is. Place your right hand on the inside of the right foot. Now you can walk your right foot a little bit more to the right so you have a little bit more space for your shoulders. Lean with your right shoulder against the inside of the right knee. Push with your knee against the outside of the right shoulder. And now what you're going to do is like you want to try to bend your left elbow and push your hips back without sinking them to the floor, and then look underneath your right leg. And if you can, if you have the ability, try to bring your right elbow behind your calf muscle and then push with your right arm against your calf muscle. So like you want to lengthen your right buttocks a little bit more. So you feel it a little bit more in your groin here on the left side, and on the right side, it's more your outer hip, your buttocks. Exhale, and then inhale, come back. Push your hands down, swing your right leg all the way back. Hands underneath your shoulders, knees underneath your hips, rounding the spine while you're exhaling. Inhale, lengthen your chest, lifting the crown of your head and your tailbone. Exhale, rounding the spine. And now bring your toes together and bring your knees to the edges of the mat. Slowly, you're going to lower down your hips as far as your knees allow you to lower down your hips. Don't force your knees in any strange position. If it hurts, you need to listen to your knees. And then lengthen the arms forward and try to lower your chest towards the floor. And also softly lower down the tip of your nose and your forehead. If you broaden your elbows more outwards, you can bring your hands closer. It will help you to soften down your shoulders a little bit more. So feel how you can relax your shoulders, how you can relax your forehead on the floor. And if you have not too much tension around the neck, you will probably feel the same nice space to roll your head in. So it's nicer to roll the head from side to side when there is not too much tension around the neck and shoulders. If there is a lot of tension, just first try to release the tension, just bringing your awareness to the particular place and sigh it out. Try to lengthen your chest away from your hips. So it's like moving your rib cage away from your hips, lengthening your waist, lengthening your back, lengthening the space in between all these vertebrae, these bones in your back, creating more space for your central nervous system and creating more space for energy to run through. And it not only goes to your muscles, but it also goes to your skin and it goes to your abdominal intestines, your organs. Exhale slowly. Now inhale, lift your rib cage, walk your elbows forward and lay down on your belly. If you have the ball nearby, then place the ball underneath your wrists. So your fingers are nicely and relaxed and they fall over the ball. You lengthen your arms, you place your forehead, if it's possible, on the floor. You can separate your legs a little bit more, like almost like the width of your mouth. You can push your tops of your foot down if you need to push your feet down. If you don't push with your feet, then you're going to bring too much pressure in your lower back. So to project your lower back, you need to work with your thighs. So push your hips into the mat, push your feet into the mat, and then lift your head, look at the ball, and pull the ball closer to your chest, and try to lift your rib cage off the floor, lengthening your chest forwards and up, and then slowly roll it down, lengthening the bellies. Feel that you're reaching further forward, and then slowly lower down. 2 more times you go up. Inhale, lift, pushing your feet, the top of the feet down, lifting your sternum higher and higher, rolling your shoulders down on your back. And then slowly exhaling, lengthening and go forwards, like you really feel you're lengthening your waist. And then slowly lower down. 1 more time, go all the way up. Stay here, and look over the shoulder. And push your feet down. Still continue with pushing your feet down. And look over the opposite shoulder. Now come back to center. And then slowly, slowly, slowly roll down. Bend your legs and grab the ball or whatever you want to hold in between your feet. So bring this in between your feet. Both hands underneath your forehead. Lengthen your legs. If you have something in between your ankles, then you can, when you have it on the floor, you can get a better grip probably on it. So both hands underneath your forehead. Push your hips down. Lift your legs. Keep them nice and long and lower it down. Up and down, without moving your elbows. They have the tendency to move. So try to keep your elbows on the floor, tuck in your belly, push down your hip bones, and lift your navel off the floor. So pull it in, belly button in, lengthening your legs up and down for 6 and 5. Contract your buttocks for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now lower your legs and place your right foot on top of the ball. If your right foot is on top of the ball, you can stretch your right leg and you can lift your right kneecap off the floor. So your right leg is engaged, but it hasn't got a very big task to move. You just keep it still. You keep pushing your right foot on the ball. And then you lengthen your left leg. You lift your left knee also off the floor. So both knees are off the floor. And then you flex your left foot. And you're going to bend and stretch your left leg without touching the floor with your left thigh. So try to keep your hips nice and still. Are they stable? Is your left hip bone on the floor? Is your right hip bone on the floor? Can you feel your pubic bone still connected to the floor? Can you pull your belly in and up? And stretch and bend your left knee for 4 more times. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now stretch your left leg as long as possible and really hug the muscles around the bones and then circle slowly with your left leg. 4 circles. 4, 3, 2, and 1. And then opposite direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Lower your left foot down.
Relax both of your knees and feel the difference between the left side of your lower back and the right side of your lower back, and also how the contraction was around your hips. Then move the ball to the left foot. So we go to do the same thing here on the other side. So your left foot is now on top of the ball. You're going to lengthen the left leg. So you lift up your left kneecap off the floor. Your left leg is contracted. You're going to contract your right leg. You lengthen it. You push your hips down. You lift your right leg off the floor and you flex the foot, and then you're going to bend and stretch the right leg without lowering the right knee to the floor. So keep your right leg floating in space, trying to bend and stretch the right leg. Just very gently, no rush. Feel how you can keep your hips nice and still and try to pull your belly in and up off the floor, space underneath your belly button for 4 more times, and 3 more times, and 2 more times, and the final one. And then you lengthen your right leg as well. You can flex the foot or point the foot, whatever you prefer, and then just gently draw some circles for 4, 3, 2, trying to keep the left side very still, and 1, and in opposite direction for 4, 3, 2, and 1, and then lower down the right leg and feel how you can lower down your left knee as well, and then just shake your hips to release the tension from your lower back and around the hips and your thighs. Sigh it out, exhale, and then bring the ball again in between your ankles. Hold it, squeeze it, lift it, and then lower it down. We're going to lift instead of once, you're going to do it in steps of 2. So it's up, up, down, down, up, up, down, down. Trying to lengthen your legs. Even without holding a prop in between your thighs or in between your ankles, you can still do this exercise. Trying to keep your elbows on the floor, forehead is relaxed on your hands. Don't push with your full head. 4 more times, up, 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 down, down, up, up, down, down. 3, down, down, 2, down, down, 1, hold. Now squeeze the ball as much as you can and tap your heels together. It's like pumping, squeezing, pump, 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 pump. It's a short, sharp movement. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and release your legs and shake your booty. And then sigh it out, take a long exhale, and then place your hands next to your rib cage. Keep the ball in between your ankles. Now lower your bum on the ball, keeping your knees together, and lengthen your arms and try to lower your forehead somewhere on the floor. You can round your spine more if you want to, bring the forehead closer to your knees, or you can lengthen yourself forwards. It depends on your back. So feel what is nice to do on this Sunday morning for your own lower back. Try to lengthen your exhale. And then slowly bring yourself back on hands and knees. Remove the ball and turn yourself a quarter on the mat, probably because you will need the center of the mat. And then you're going to push your knees down. If you're standing on your knees, you can either keep your toes tucked under, or you can keep your toes flat on the floor, just whatever you prefer. Feel how your feet are doing. If the surface is too hard, fold the blanket in two, place it underneath your knees or also underneath your feet, because it's nice to have a softer surface. Push your hips forward, place your hands on your hips. Now keep your right hand here where it is, then lengthen the left arm and reach your left arm over and reach to the right, looking to the left, pushing with your right hand against the outer hip. Inhale, bring yourself back up. Do the same thing on the other side. Now place your left hand on your hip, bring your right arm up, thumb is pointing back, and then stretch everything here on the right side. Lengthen it. Create space, lengthen, elongate. And then inhale back, and then lower the right arm. And once more, left arm goes up, and you stretch and you stretch and you stretch. Feel how you can push your right knee firmer into the mat, but bring a little bit more weight to the left knee as well. And then bring yourself back to center, and switch to the other side.
and lift and lengthen and push your right knee into the floor, but also feel a little bit more weight on the left knee, lengthening everything on the right side. And then slowly come back. Now bring your hands on your back, and I will show you, you can see it in the mirror probably. You can either point your fingers down or up and walk your hands as close to each other as possible. Now keep pushing your hips forward, lifting the sternum, lifting your chest. If you have the ability to go further backwards, you can do it, but you don't have to exaggerate. You have to continue with your breath. You can still smile. You can still sing a song here. La, 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 la. Take a deep inhale. Don't fold your neck in two. And exhale, push with your hands against your hips, and then slowly you come back. You're still in the center of the mat, and then lengthen your left leg sideways to the left. Yes, long left, left leg. Push your right knee down. Both arms, they go up. Now both arms, they go down. Then lift your arms sideways, up, and then open your arms parallel with the floor. So reaching for length, aiming for length. Now, when you don't notice what to do, then you probably will sink back with your hips. So try to squeeze your abdominals by pushing your pubic bone a little bit more forward. Opening the arms and then lean to the right and then come back up. You can lean to the right and come back up. 6 more times. 6 and 5. Exhale, go up. 4, sinking down, and exhale, going back up. 3, 2, and 1. Now place your right hand on the floor, lengthen your left arm, and try to look up to your left hand. This is pretty hard and strong for your neck. So if you don't feel like doing it, it's okay, you just keep your gaze forward. If it's still too hard for the neck, then lower your right ear towards your right shoulder. It softens your neck muscles, but don't look to the floor. Push your right hand into the floor, but make sure that you have more weight on the right knee. And now lengthen your left leg and lift your left leg. Up and down. We go for 6. 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Now try to keep your left leg in the air. Maybe not so high, but you keep it floating above the floor. Lengthening, strengthening, creating space. And now draw some small circles with your left leg. 4, 3, 2, 1. Opposite direction for 4, 3, and 1. Lower your left leg down. Inhale, lift yourself up. Now grab your right wrists. Lengthen your right arm up, pushing your right knee firmly down, push your hips forward, and then pull your arm over to the left, looking to the right. And again, you're creating more space here. Exhale. Inhale, back up, hands flat together, lower the hands in front of the heart, turn to the left side. Inhale, back to center. Exhale, turn to the right, feel where your boundary is, and then lower your hands to the floor, turn your right foot back on the length of your mat and lift your left leg again. Now slide your right hand forward and lift the right arm. Try to find your balance here by lifting your left leg, by lengthening your right arm, but don't lift it too high. Keep it parallel with the floor. Now bring your knee and elbow together. There we go for 6. Exhale for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Pull your knee higher by grabbing your shin with your right hand, pulling the left knee closer to your face. Look at your left hand and step your left foot forward in between the hands. Tuck under the toes of the right foot, lengthen the right leg as much as you can. Now lift your hips only one more time, up. Then lower your right knee to the floor. Push your right knee firmly down, push your left foot firmly down. Make sure you have your left knee above the left ankle. Then place both of your hands on the left knee and lift your chest away from your thighs. Rolling the shoulders back, moving the arms forward, lifting the arms up. Keep your gaze in a particular point in front of you. Then if you have the space around your shoulders, push your hands flat together. If it's too much for your shoulders, don't do it. And keep pointing up towards the ceiling. Then slowly bring your hands together in front of the heart. Now turn your upper body to the left and bring your right elbow on the outside of the left knee. So you're leaning with your chest on your left thigh. Can you feel it that you're leaning on your thigh? You can look at the floor. Feel how you can push your hands together. And by pushing your right upper arm against the outside of your left knee, you can lift your chest a little bit off your thigh. And then you can look over the left shoulder. So the turning is a little bit deeper this time. And it makes your back more flexible. And you will strengthen your belly muscles. So if you feel like you found your balance here and you have strong legs, you can go a little bit more for a challenging way. Then you tuck your toes under of the right foot. Feel that you can push your right knee away and then try to lift your right thigh off the floor. So feel your balance here. Yes, it's okay to lose your balance because then you've tried. And it's better than to try than not to try. Take another deeper inhale and then exhale slowly, hands on the floor. Step back in plank, high plank. And in high plank, you have your shoulders higher than your hips. Feel how you can push your heels away. Now imagine that somebody is pulling your hips back. And then you lower your head. Then you step your feet a little closer to your hands so you have a little bit more the ability to lower down the heels. And now go bend your legs, alternated leg bending. So feel how you can bend each leg very gently. Feel a little bit more your hamstring stretches. Take another deeper inhale. And then slowly walk your feet to the front of your mat towards your hands. Look at your hands. The closer you come to your hands, the harder it is. But you can bend your knees, rest your chest on your thighs, grab your elbows and push your elbows closer to the floor. And just hold on. And continue with your smoothing out your breath. So feel how you're breathing in and breathing out. Can you drop your head? Can you make it more heavy? Can you lengthen your spine? Can you push your legs away with your upper body? So don't feel the urge to stretch your legs. I recommend you to bend your knees because you create more space in the back of your back, in your lower back. And when there's more space, your legs get stronger also here. And then you will find one of these days a little bit more space to stretch your legs. But don't worry about it. It's not about how the posture looks. It's more about how the posture feels. So can you feel where you're strengthening, where you're lengthening? And are you controlling your breath? Is your breath really smooth? Can you lengthen your inhales? Can you lengthen your exhales without exaggeration? Feel how you can pin down your big toes and then swing your upper body around your legs for 4, 3, 2, and 1. Place your hands on the floor, bend your knees, sink down with your hips, place your hands behind your buttocks and then lower your buttocks on the floor. Grab your knees with your hands. And then I have to move my audio thing a little bit more to the side and then roll through your back. Do you have enough space? And then roll through your back. If you have your hands on your knees, then draw some circles with your hands on your knees. And it's so nice to circle your legs around with the hands because now you're not only stirring your lower back, but you're also stirring your shoulders. And you will probably feel that your head is rolling also with you. So it's more relaxed. You can make the movement bigger. You can pull and you can push with your arms and you can pull with your legs. And then circle in the opposite direction. Swing yourself from side to side, massaging your lower back because we need to do the other side as well. And you just deserve the small massage. And then you stop in center, place your right foot on the floor, left leg crosses over the right leg. Squeeze your inner thighs, especially for women. It's so important that we use our pelvic floor muscles in the twisting poses because otherwise you get like the hip immobility. So squeezing your inner thighs, keep your hips nice and firm. Open the arms, push down the right foot, lift your hips, move your hips to the left, look to the left, and drop your knees to the right. If your knees are touching the floor and your left shoulder isn't touching the floor anymore, then it's no twist anymore. So lift your knees a little bit higher. Make sure that you have your left shoulder still on the floor, and then drop your knees slowly to the right. And now you're twisting. And these twist poses are so good for your bowel system, for your intestines, for your organs, for your immunity, but also so good for your spine. So you're improving the way you can move your spine. And if your spine is more flexible and stronger as well, you will feel like all the other movements are getting better as well. Because our general health starts in the belly and in the back. And the belly is there for balancing everything out, like how to proceed your food, process your food, and your back is there. It's like holding your back. It's like there's not for nothing, like these expressions. So taking care of your back is taking care of your general health. And especially if you have ever had back pains, you can feel like you can do nothing. So taking care of your back will taking care of doing everything. Squeeze the inner thighs and push your legs back up. Then switch, move your hips back to center, feel the effect. And then lift your right leg over the left leg, squeezing your inner thighs again. Also, men can do it because it's nice to strengthen your pelvic floor muscles as well. Opening the arms, look to the right, move your hips to the right. Without lifting your right shoulder, you're going to drop your knees to the left. And now sometimes you can feel like even like plock, 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 something in your vertebrae. It's getting more outlined. You don't need to go and see a chiropractor or something, or a manual therapeutic. Oh, some words are so hard to pronounce. Feel how you can squeeze your inner thighs together. And feel how you're lengthening the right side of your waist. Can you feel where you're holding back, where your boundary is, where your limitation is? Don't worry about your limitations, but you need to know where they are, because otherwise you cannot respect your own boundaries. So you get to know yourself a little bit better when you move your body. And you can create more space, so it's easier to move the body. Take another deeper inhale, squeeze the inner thighs together, and again, push your legs back up. Then if you push your legs back up, then you can roll to your side. I have to, connect my sound system again. And then when you come up, then you can sit on your knees again. So hop on your knees again, because we have two sides, the left side and the right side. And we already did just like leaning to the right. So now first, stand on your knees, really firmly push your knees down into the floor. Push your hips forward, lifting your arms. Inhale up, and exhale, slowly lower the hands down. 2 more times, inhale up. Exhale, slowly lower the hands. And the final one, interlace the fingers above your head. And now push your hips as far forward as possible and try to reach over the ceiling backwards, but still able to see your hands. So if you're not looking at your hands, don't bring your hands too far back. If you cannot see your hands, bring them back up and push your hips forward. It's a micro back bend. Take another deeper inhale and exhale, slowly lower the hands sideways and down. Inhale, lift your arms. Open your arms sideways. Now lengthen your right leg just by pushing your left knees firmer down, lengthen your right leg down. And trying to really lengthen it sideways. It's like you're like a sticker on the wall. Lifting the arms, lowering the shoulders, and leaning to the left and coming up. You can feel it in your groins as well, so in your inner thighs, but you can feel it most of all in your obliques for 6 more times. 6. And 5. Exhale, come up. 4, go down on the inhale, and exhale, go down for 3. 2. And the final one, lower down, place the hand underneath your shoulder and lift the opposite arm. So your right arm is all the way up. It's in a nice line. And you can push your knee firmer down. If there is too much weight on your left hand, you're going to collapse here. So trying to push your hips forward and keep a little bit more weight on the left leg. Can you see your right arm up in the sky? Can you lengthen? Can you just shake no or yes? If it's too heavy for the neck or the head, then bring your left ear against your left shoulder and you can do all the rest of the movements. So feel your space. Lengthen the right leg and lift your right leg up and slowly lower it down. So not too fast. Really feel like you're doing the effort from within, from your thighs. You're not throwing it up, you're pushing it up. Don't throw your leg up, just push your leg up for 4 more times. There it goes. 4 and 3 and 2 and 1. Keep it there, keep it there, keep it there. Make it longer if you can. Try to point your foot more to the right and then draw those small circles. You can flex the foot or point the foot for 4, 3, 2 and 1. Opposite direction. Trying to keep your upper body as still as possible. Keep smiling for 2 more circles and the final circle, and then lower the right foot down and then lift yourself back up and then pull your left arm longer and longer. So first start pulling and start pushing down your left knee firmer and deeper into the floor. Then slowly start leaning to the right and look to the left. So you lift the left side of the rib cage. Lengthen the space in between your ribs, but also lengthen your waist and your outer hip. And then inhale back to center, hands flat together, lower the hands in front of the heart, turn to the right, feel how far you can turn to the right, inhale back to center, and then exhale, lean to the left, or turn first to the left, and then slowly lean to the left. Then you need to pick up your left foot, because otherwise you cannot turn on your knees. And then when you have your left knee underneath your left hip, you can lift your right leg. Lengthen the right leg, push down the right hand, lengthen the left arm, lift the left arm, point your thumb up, and then squeeze your knees and your elbow together. 6 times. There we go. For 6. 6. And 5. Exhaling, squeezing. And for 4. And for 3 more to go. You're almost there. For 2. And the final one. And the final one is the loveliest one, because you can hold your leg and you can squeeze your leg closer and closer to your forehead. Look at the right hand and step your right foot forward. Right foot. Make sure that it is your right foot. Right knee is above the right ankle. Tuck your toes under of the left foot. Only stretch the left leg as long as possible. Feel how you can lengthen the left leg. Still pushing your toes down, pushing your heel away. And then you lift your hips as high as possible. And then slowly lower down the left knee, and not only lower it down, but also pushing it a little bit down. So you can feel you can push your knee down, and it gives you more stability to lift your chest away from your thigh. Looking in front forward, keeping your gaze at one particular point. It helps to find more stability. And then stretch your arms, lift your arms on the inhale, lengthen the arms. You might want to look up, it's not necessary. You can close your hands together. You can reach up, lengthen, do a little back bend if you prefer to do it. You can feel the stretch in your left groin, feel how your right leg is still working, and then lower the hands slowly in front of your chest. Together, hands flat together, elbows nice and wide. Then turn to the right and place your left elbow on the outside of your right leg. Sometimes you really need to check which is which. So left elbow is on the outside of the right leg, and you turn your belly closer and closer to your thigh. So you're leaning on your thigh with your belly. And then when your hands start working, you push your hands together, then you can lift your sternum away from your thigh. And then you have a better view behind you. Can you see behind you? Can you smile? Can you feel that your legs are working? If you want to challenge yourself, then just try. You're only here for feeling where your boundaries are. So feel it, tuck the toes under, challenge yourself, and try to lift the kneecap off the floor, pushing your left leg away. Really control your breath, trying to smooth your breath. Take a slow inhale and slow exhale. Then place your hands back on the floor and step your right foot back to the mat, all the way behind. Hands underneath your shoulders. Feel how you can push with your heels. Now lift your hips as high as possible, and then place your feet a little closer to your hands, but like
shoulder width apart, so not too close, a little wider. It makes it easier to push with your hands firmer and also to lift your heels. And when you lift your heels, alternated heel lifting, you can bring your chest closer to your thighs, lifting your sit bones up in the sky, and then look towards your hands and walk your feet again towards the hands. Place your feet hip distance apart, firm them down, pin your toes down, and then grab your elbows and just melt over your thighs, bending the knees. So don't worry if you almost like in a sitting posture with your legs. It's so much more recommendable to lengthen in this pose your back than stretching your legs and just like hanging here. Now there is too much compression in your lower back. So when you unlock your knees, you bend your knees and you drop your chest on your thighs, you will improve your posture so much easier. And it's not so easy because it's hard work for your legs. Feel the effort that your legs are doing. Sometimes you can feel like trembling sensations. Sometimes you can feel like heat is rising. And can you smooth your breath? Can you soften your breath? Can you deepen your breath? Like slow it down. Long inhale and slow, long exhale. Like really taking time for your breath. It's the end of class, so you don't have to rush. We're almost there. Take another deeper inhale. Exhale, place your hands on the floor, lift your chest away from your thighs, pushing your fingertips into the floor on your ankles or in your shins. Exhale, forward fold over the thighs. Now bend your knees, sit on your haunches. Place your hands behind you, pushing your knees forward. Make sure that your fingers are pointing forwards or sideways, but not backwards, because then you're locking your elbows. Don't lock your elbows. Can you keep your knees together? Can you stand on your toes? So try to lift your hips. And then slowly try to push your knees forward as far as they go. And it can be just like staying here because you already feel an immense deep stretch in your thighs. But if you have the ability to lower the knees, then do so. Try to lower your knees. You can walk your hands closer. You can push your chest up. You can puff your chest up. You can squeeze your elbows closer. You can shake your head. Just feel what suits you best now. Stretching your thighs, pushing your hips forward, pushing your pubic bone forward, pushing your chest up. Lifting your chin as well, so don't drop your head in the back of your neck. You can hear it in my voice. If I drop my head in the back of my neck, there's like, oh, there's almost no sound. And if you lift your head, you can breathe with more ease and you can speak and sing with more ease. But I'm not a good singer, so I won't sing. Take another deeper inhale, exhale, lift your knees, walk your hands back, and then lower your hips to the floor. Place your feet on the floor, grab your knees with your hands. For a nice counter pose for your wrists, you hold your knees and you just hang on your thighs. Slowly lower down the elbows, your shoulders, stretching your arms, lifting your feet off the floor. Just balance here. Do you have enough space behind you to gently roll down to your back? If you have, then roll down to your back. I have to move my audio thing, and then just draw some circles again with your knees on the ceiling, giving your low back a little soft massage. Circle them in particular way that suits you the best. So feel how you can move your legs with your arms, but at the same time, you're also moving your arms with your legs. 3, 2, and 1. Keep your knees really close, squeeze your knees together, lift your head and your shoulders, then wrap your arms around your thighs, around your legs. You can do it on top of your shins, but if you feel like there is too much resistance, you can also stretch your legs and hold the back of your thighs. Sometimes it's easier, so try to do them both, and then you can pick what you prefer the most. And then try to drop the head, but don't drop your head and look back, but keep your gaze as much as you can toward your knees. And trying to push down your lower back against the floor. Again, creating space for all your bones in your back, like the backbones, creating space for your vertebrae, the soft tissue in between your vertebrae, for your central nervous system,
for your energy. Take another deeper inhale. And then slowly release your arms and legs. Place one foot at a time on the floor. Feel how you can place your feet on the floor and then slide a little bit up on your mat so you can lengthen your legs. Opening your feet, trying to let your pinky toes fall towards the floor. So the inner ankles are turning up, the outer ankles are turning down. Open the arms, move your arms a little bit more away from your shoulders and also a little bit away from your chest. So use the floor instead of the mat. Open the palms of your hands because it gives you more surrendering around the shoulders. And try to surrender yourself into the final pose. Just laying still. Allow your body, yourself, your mind, your body to relax. Surrender, because the recovery is there where we can relax. So even when you only relax for a minute, your recovery is so much quicker. And now you can feel how the energy can flow through your body and how your body is floating almost. It feels like a boat on water. It's like floating on the rhythm of your own breath. When you inhale, you can feel a little bit lighter. When you exhale, you can feel a little bit more supported by the floor. Feel the imprint that your body is making. Can you feel the length of your legs? Where your legs are connected with the floor, with your mat, with the ground, with the earth. Can you relax the muscles around your hips? So also your pelvic floor muscles tend to relax more when your pinky toes are turning down to the floor. So it's good when you can strengthen all these muscles. But you won't be able to strengthen your muscles if you cannot relax your muscles. So allow your muscles to relax. You need the relaxation and you need the effort that you took to strengthen and lengthen. Feel the rising and the falling of your chest caused by your breath. Lengthen your inhale, feel your chest rising, and try to elongate your exhale. Feel the imprint of your shoulders, the upper arms, your elbows, your lower arms, and your hands. Relax the muscles around your neck. So feel how your head is laying on the floor, is carried by the floor. Can you relax your mind? Can you sink in the back of your head? Feeling how your face is relaxed, your eyes, your jaws, your skin, your muscles. And with a smile on your lips, you take a deep, slow inhale. As deep as you can, and you hold your breath. And then you let it go with a sigh. So sigh it out, exhale through your mouth. Take a deep inhale again, maybe even deeper. Hold your inhalation, inhale a little bit more. It's possible. And then exhale. At the end of the exhalation, just wait. Exhale a little bit more. Feel the squeezing in your abdominals. Inhale a little bit more. Hold your inhalation, smile on your lips. And with the smile on your lips, you take another deeper, deeper inhale. This is the final one, so make it your best. And with your exhale, your own breath will come back to you as well. So exhale it all out and just feel how your own breath is coming back to you. And then you start wiggling your toes, your fingers, your hands, your wrists, your ankles, your legs, your knees, your hips, your shoulders. Lengthen yourself, yawn if you can too. So like really stretch. Take a deep inhale, stretching your body. And then you bring your knees closer to your chest and you can roll to your side or you can roll up and then you can stay seated down. So cross your ankles, Find a nice, comfortable pose to sit up straight. If you want to stretch your legs forward, because it's nicer to stretch your back, then do so. Lift your arms sideways and up. Take another deeper inhale. Exhale, slowly lower your arms down. Inhale your arms up and close your circle. And then slowly bring your hands in front of your forehead for a nice thoughts for yourself and others. Then bring your hands towards your lips for nice words for yourself and also for others. And then bow towards your heart and bring your hands in front of your heart. And here you bring everything together. And you thank yourself for your inner wisdom, for your inner beauty, for your inner knowledge, your inner power. Be grateful for the body, be grateful for the mind. And be grateful for the Sunday morning. Namaste.